What's up, guys? Welcome to the Squat Plug, episode 29, almost hitting that milestone 30. I am joined by my two favorite guests, who I'm always joined by, Yili and Mateo. And today we are going to discuss 2024 Raw Nationals. We're heading out there in a couple days to Salt Lake City to coach and just be part of the chaos in general. Mateo will be lifting. Yila will be lifting. I will be generally just trolling around. But yeah, so I don't know. We're going to discuss the goings-on out there, if you will. You know, we'll try to cover as many weight classes as possible. Some battles, some suspenseful battles that we're all waiting for. And yeah, so what's up with you guys? How you feeling? You ready to compete this weekend?
We'll find out.
Yeah, looking okay. Knock on wood. This is probably one of my best preps to date. You know, no debilitating illness, no crippling injury. You know, I can't really complain.
I know. I saw you post your lifts last night that weren't RP10s. They were moving pretty speedy, and I was like, all right, this man is ready to rock.
I mean, they're about 70% estimated one of max, but
Yeah, but sometimes 2 weeks out from a meet, those things are moving at RP7, and we're getting worried. So.
Oh yeah. True.
Tell me about it.
Is that where you're at, Mateo?
A little bit. I mean, it's not a bad prep. Could have been a lot worse. For the World Cup, it was a lot worse than this. So I'm not too worried. I'm doing okay.
You showed out at the World Cup, so.
I guess so.
A little bit.
I did it for Albania.
Did. Well, I hope you two have a spectacular meet.
Thanks.
Yeah, what are the goals for you guys? Each respectively, of course.
If I could, let me tell you, want to go first?
I'll go first. I want to beat my total from last year's Nationals at least.
Which was?
810, if I'm not mistaken. 810, yes, 810 kilos. Anything above that will make me happy, but I won't be really satisfied unless I get an 830 total at least. Kilo. But I'll be happy if I can beat my total from last year's Nationals.
So you'll be happy if you beat 810, but if it ain't 30, you don't want it.
Pretty much, yes. I'll be okay with myself if I total anything more than 810, but I'll be actually content if I total 830 plus. That makes sense.
All right. I also think I said ain't 30 instead of ain't 830.
Ain't 30, bro.
Ain't no bother, brother.
Since I've gained weight, my training was going really badly. Yuli knows.
Yep.
So I'm now that I'm going back down. I'm not expecting too much, but I do want to hit a total PR. So we'll see how that goes.
Hell yeah. What about you, Yuli?
Well, let's see what takes place. Training has not been bad. There were some factors initially whatnot, like obviously work and that kind of stuff. Worked quite a bit of overtime. So for me, this has probably been my easiest prep I want to say maybe ever. I'm not sick. I don't have COVID. I don't have fucking swine flu. I'm not throwing up, anything like that, I'm already at weight, I'm not injured. So things are okay. My best total to date has been 845 that I hit at the World Cup. After that, as everybody knows, I bombed out at the Arnold. Bombed out on bench press. I fucking had norovirus leading into it. I lost it was 17 pounds or some shit like that in the course of 3 days. So I wasn't doing too well. But I have done those complaints right now. Squats and delts are particularly robust. Bench press, I'm hoping if I can hit 452, I'm good. I'm willing to go as low as 435, but I think squats and delts are going to carry the day. How 700 moved first time I hit it the other day, 705, was fucking RP7, bro. I was fucking moving. Same thing also true with deadlifts and whatnot. I'm looking pretty damn robust. We'll see what happens. Ideally, I podium, I take top 5, but you never know what happens. Realistically speaking, I'm going in 10th. We'll see what happens on the day. It's just like anything else.
You're actually 9th, brother.
Am I 9th now?
Yeah.
Oh wow, that's right. So I'm 9th now. Interesting. Who else dropped out?
If we assume that Isaac Whistler is not going to do the meet, which is a good possibility.
Why do you say that?
Why do you say
I haven't
that?
seen anything from him. Remember, you were telling me about it.
Wait, yeah, Yarbrough who's competing in Masters. Okay, good.
Told you.
Okay, all right. So yeah, it looks like I'm coming in ninth. Yarbrough threw me off. I thought he was in the Open, but apparently he's a Masters one. But I'm coming in ninth. See what happens. I don't know about Isaac Whistler. I get a feeling he's gonna be at the meet. I think maybe he's just hiding the list of some sort because maybe he doesn't think he's going to put his best performance forward, but I doubt he's not to be there.
We'll see. Looking forward to seeing you compete out there. Hopefully you don't bomb out this time because last time we came all the way out to Ohio for you.
Yeah, I know.
Bomb out.
But we still had fun, and that's what
we had
matters.
a lot of fun.
That was a blast. I'm not gonna lie. That was one of the funnest meets I've been at. Definitely the funnest bomb out meet I've ever been to.
Yeah, you got a shot from Gina.
So what other weight classes are we excited to see amongst men, women?
Teo?
I mean, I'm looking forward to the 110s, the men's 110s, because Anthony pulled out of the meet, so he was the heavy favorite. And right now there's about 3 or 4 lifters in like a 10-kilo distance of each other. So
Do we know why he pulled out?
Yeah,
So,
we do know why.
Yuli
So
knows
he-
better than I do.
So he had the New York State Troopers exam. Well, not exam, but like what you call it, a meeting with them to land a job, and it's inflexible. Once you're in the New York State Troopers, they give you a date, you have to be there at the date. Either that or good luck. Maybe next 4 years when they open up a test again, you can show up again.
Fair
So
enough.
they're
I thought it was
willing to
firefighting.
compromise.
No?
No,
Was it?
negative.
Oh, okay.
No, State Troopers. So the firefighter situation, I guess, it was a little more complicated. So things took place behind the scenes. He can speak on that if he wants to.
Yeah, I don't want to.
But he had the state trooper exam, and that basically just kind of curtailed his chance of being out over there. We tried everything we could to help him out, so forth. Me and him were in a conversation trying to make things happen. It wasn't working out.
Fair enough.
Great kid. Would have loved to see him be out over here. He was definitely the favorite to win. I mean, this kid's like fucking pulling a 2,000 plus pound total in training effortlessly, squatting over 800 pounds.
What he did at the Arnold was very impressive.
Bro, that was disgusting. Holy shit. Legit
Very,
goals.
very impressive lifter.
Goals.
Yeah.
Legit. It's such a humble dude, Very demure.
Anyways,
How about
Mateo,
you?
back
What
over
are you
to
looking
Mateo. What do we think about the rest of the 110 class?
I mean, there's a lot of strong dudes, and then a lot of them, most of them out of the 110s, they're like the top 3. They're all like fresh out of the juniors too, like all of them.
And
Like it's, Tyler
who are we
Wilson.
talking about here?
Tyler Wilson, Paul Harayo, Brennan LaSala, like the top 3 is basically like fresh out of the juniors, like it just turned 24. So and they have their totals are within 2.5 kilos of each other.
Bro, it's wild. Legit,
So,
if you send it out to Sealy, it's 7.5 kg between top to fifth. That's wild.
Yeah, and everybody has their own strengths too. Like for example, Tyler has a huge deadlift. Like he pulls like in the 8s, and Paul has a really good squat, and Brennan has a huge bench. I know he benched close to a 515 training, which is a huge bench.
Yeah. So,
Well,
so subtotal specialists versus versus the deadlift specialist. That's always a fun battle to see.
He has a really good deadlift as well. He's like in the 7s, but like still like he's
But when you have a lifter that can outpull hit their other competitors by quite a bit, then they might not be able to catch up with squat and bench as much. Then that makes it really interesting because they might be behind going into deadlifts on the subtotal, right? But everyone knows what they're capable of, and that that kind of creates the suspense of like what they could potentially do to pull ahead and maybe pull for a win or a podium spot or something like that. So those situations are really fun to watch.
I mean, when it comes to that, Tyler definitely has advantage. He will pull last no matter what happens. So we'll see. I'm excited for that. I will be watching that for sure. Yeah. How about you, Yuli? What are you looking at? What are you looking forward to?
So besides like the men's, which is very exciting whatnot, like I'd say women's, the one weight class I'm really looking forward to seeing what happens and whatnot is the 67.5 kgs. That is absolutely stacked from top to bottom over here. Cassandra Carlton's in the favorite with 512.5 kg qualifying total. I want to say down in sixth place, you have Eve Jambes at 495. Above her is Solana Lewis. Jennifer Thompson's there. One of the most, I want to say, famous powerlifters, I guess, in the sport. One of the most iconic people out there. Absolute bench specialist in very good shape. Carmen's up there as well. Former Peak member, currently representing Whitetail, our team. Janique Kovacs. It's a very tight heat, and it can go either way. It comes down to basically just hit attempts, missed attempts, and that kind of stuff.
Yep.
Carmen's prep has been pretty damn good. I want to say she's anticipated, based off of my experiences with her in the past, to do better over here. She's looking at at the very least, let's say top 3 over here, potentially. If being the meet day perfectionist that she is, her average is I want to say close to 9 for 9 in meets. She's going to be making all of her attempts. If somebody has a misstep, she could be taken first. She is that woman.
Yep, and that's where attempt selection, becomes really, really important in these situations. And then you're even, in these very tight matches, this is where you have to pay attention to, the dot score, and we're talking to the tenth of a fraction here. It's when we were at Equipnats, we were calculating the dot scores for Sophia, and it was we had to make sure that we were it was 5 something 0.03 versus the person who's 0.02. It's very can get very tight and very exciting.
No, of course.
Especially in the warm up room to watch. Coaches are all by the board watching the lifting cast, and I don't know. It's all really cool to watch it unfold. Is all.
No, of course. Just curious to see what happens over here. Cassandra Carlton's looking pretty strong. Her performances in the past are really good. See what happens in squats if they decide to show up and whatnot. She could muster a pretty good performance. Carmen's performance from the last meet, I think, is a 15 kg PR from meet to meet, if memory serves correctly. So it's a 12.5 all-time PR. So she's hitting stride right now. She's in her stride.
But also, Janae has a huge deadlift. She pulls in the 5s, so she will also be pulling last. So she has a chance to just take the whole thing at the end.
True, but when it comes down to people who pull for the win, I find, though, what happens is when you have the capacity, sometimes you rely on it a little bit too much. We've seen it happen with Bob at last year's Nationals and whatnot. These are the things that happen, Nothing else. Just basically, when you have that ability to do so, and you're gunning for it, any kind of slip up, whatnot can be costly. And when you're banking that much on the one lift, particularly at a moment like that, so it could go either way. I think the more spectacular lifts and so on and so forth are the ones which are the least reliable, honestly, And I think history also shows that people basically, especially who rely upon pulling upon the win and whatnot, also tend to have that backfire more often than not. Is what I've seen myself, based on the meets I've been to, so on and so forth. If you're expecting that one last deadlift to save you and whatnot, not a good position to be in.
No, definitely not. And there's no guarantee that you're going to hit that big deadlift, but it still makes the attempt calling, because there's the deadlift change or the attempt change for the deadlift rather. It's just all very exciting to watch, and it's regardless of the outcome, it's it could be very intense and heated battles. Which
that said, that deadlift 220 kg at 67.5 kg is fucking monstrous.
No, she I've come across her post a couple times. I know she's within the 500s at the moment.
That's insane.
So she has a really, really big deadlift.
Hopefully she puts it together. It's a PR out there. Mm-hmm. We just want to see people, I guess, have the best meet that they can, so on and so forth. It's everybody wants to see these people do their best. That's what we're tuning in for. That's what we're hoping to see. So this is definitely, I guess, one of the more stacked weight classes. I'm really looking forward to seeing what happens over here. Jennifer Thompson, I can't wait to see her break another record, on bench press, see what happens out there. Exciting character, somebody, I guess, who also inspires me quite a bit, particularly, how long she's been in the sport. Typically people slow down and so on and so forth. She's shown no signs of doing so. And if people out there talking about they're old and so on and so forth, she proves that it's a cope. Do better. Your mindset determines where you're going to be.
That's very
Mark, what are you looking forward to, bro?
To be honest, a lot of these names are not super familiar to me. I'll admit, but I am looking at the spreadsheet that Yuli put together over here, and I do think the 56 female weight class is pretty impressively stacked. Like,
Yes.
It's we're talking Mariah Bolden is the favorite with a 452.5 kilo total, but then right behind her is Maya Wright with a 450.5 kilo total, and then right behind her is Andrea Riley with a 450 total, and then Avelia Liu. I think Avelia is how you would pronounce that. 447.5, and then Bria Williams with 447.5. So just those top 5 lifters like are really going to battle it out. And I looked up a couple of these girls as I was looking at this spreadsheet, and Maya Wright has put up some pretty impressive numbers for a 56 kilo lifter. Like she sort of, her last heavy squat in the prep, she sort of hid the ends of the plates, but she had 3 reds on the bar. And then she pulled, she was pulling, I think 402 for reps. She hit 165 for a set of 5. Her bench was pretty good too, around I think 95 or 90 kilos. She hit for a single or a double. So, and then I looked up some of the other girls, and I mean they were putting up some impressive numbers, but Maya Wright, I think she might come out on top based on what I've seen just from perusing Instagram.
Interesting.
Yeah,
it's also one of those weight classes. Now you see like the 7.5 kg total between the guys, I guess, in 110 kg weight class, and that's not much. It's not much.
That's one bench attempt.
That's basically what it comes out to, one failed bench attempt. You're looking at the women in 56 kg weight class, 2.5 kg is a lot.
Yeah.
2.5 kg jump on bench press is a fucking huge number, Yeah. So these numbers
there's only there's only a 5 kilo difference between the first and the 5th place.
That's wild, bro.
Right, so yeah, I was just looking at all the totals, and I was like, wow, that's competitive. That might be the tightest battle there is, But even I'm still looking at the spreadsheet right now, like the 75 men, that's still pretty close. Like we're less than 20 kilos apart here from 745 to 762.5. Even the 67.5 class is pretty stacked over here. I'm pretty excited to just kind of watch all these men and women go out and crush it, to be honest. As am
I.
Yeah.
I think one of the other weight classes that I'm really looking forward to seeing what they do and whatnot is in the 90 and 82.5 kg in men's, Mateo.
Yeah. I mean, in the 82.5s, there's 4 people within 20 kilos of each other. I mean, from second to 4th, the difference 7.5 kilos. And first place is Anthony Bilal, which he has an 800 kilo total. He has a really good subtotal. His deadlifts is close to 700, but there is Seth Asuki in second place, which again he's a deadlift specialist. I think he pulled 770 training recently, which is for an 82.5. It's a huge deadlift. And then he will be trying to pull for the win. But again, like you said, it doesn't really mean much if you miss an attempt at deadlifts. You're pretty much fucked. So, third place is Jaden Lowe. I try to check his training, but he does not have a lot of posts on his Instagram, so I couldn't find much.
Gotta hide your lifts from the competition.
Yeah, he also has a 787 kilo total. And in 4th is Matt Young, if I'm pronouncing it correctly. And he has 780 total, but he has like a humongous bench. I think he benched an unofficial American record.
Oh, yes. His last deadlift was a little bit contentious. He got it at the meet,
questionable.
But it was questionable. Yeah. But if he puts on a similar performance and whatnot, he's going to be in very, very good shape. I mean, look at the difference over here. It's a 20 kg difference between him and first place. His attempts can and will determine the day. It's usually what happens. I'm excited to see what happens. I mean, like looking at some very good performances out of here. It's crazy to see the landscape shifting the way it has over the years and to see the numbers being relatively the same as they've been. The people are saying like, oh, well, these people lead the weight classes, yada, things will be so different. And you see somebody else filling in that vacuum right away and blowing those numbers up,
Yeah.
So like they said the same thing with Atwood left and he went over to Powerlifting America and then went to IPF. And then look at Perkins. Look at what he did,
Yeah.
So we're seeing this happen all across the board and all these lifts as well. What people don't realize is that, you may be the staple in powerlifting today, but there's always somebody who's got that dog in them who's working to get to where you're at and to overtake you. And we're seeing this happen in real time. It's pretty exciting times.
Yeah, and with powerlifting expanding as rapidly as it is, like there's going to be a lot of young and upcoming lifters like that are just going to crush old numbers in like the next 10 years, and I'm super excited to see it. And that's why I said like obviously a lot of the like a good handful of these names are familiar, but there's a lot of names that I haven't really seen before. So yeah, I'm kind of stoked to see the young up and comers and where they're
exciting.
Where they're going to sport in the next,
and reflects when you look at the top people in podium position over here. Look at the 90 kg weight class.
Yep.
The first seed, if you want to call him that or whatnot, is Jordan McKinley, who is a junior. He's got 870 kg qualifying total, which is 20 kg over the next person who's in the open. So there'll always be that shuffle forward. You'll always have the new blood like pushing out the old. It's one of those things over here, and you get to see this in real time. It's going to be fucking exciting to see this, and I can't wait to see this happen. Absolutely. When it comes to nationals, not always like is it something that's like fun to watch, so forth, but it gives these people the limelight. It brings them up there. It allows people to have this exposure, to grow themselves as athletes, and hopefully get some sponsorships, things of that nature, maybe potentially make a career out of this and whatnot. Nationals is
maybe
a great
sponsorships from White Toe.
Mayhaps.
Mayhaps.
Perchance. There's a chance. But it's like legitimately, this is one of the best parts about the sport itself. You never know what's going to happen from year to year. Look at 82.5 kg. Look at the people at the top 7 position over here. You have Seth Dosky, who's a junior, second position over here. Down to like what you call Morgan Chan and Kaiman Chow, who are like in the running for top 10. This is awesome to see. So again, there's constant evolution here. I'm curious to see what happens at Nationals. I'm super excited. The 7,500 foot elevation, I'm sure, it's going to have some kind of effect on things. I would love to see the numbers after the fact and to see how they compare statistically to other meets. Like to look at qualifying totals versus actual performance. If somebody could do those numbers, that'd be fucking phenomenal. Just to see, just because maybe it gives us an indication as to how much, the altitude actually does play a role. I was talking to Jack Slavensky the other day, Swolensky on Instagram. He had a conversation about the meet and so on and so forth. He was saying, bro, you're reading into too much. It's not going to have any effect. And he may well be right. I like to be prepared.
Well, if you bomb out, that's the excuse you could use. I'm from New York, not used to the elevation.
But also,
dear Instagram, I had altitude sickness.
Should have trained with the elevation mask on.
We also had Ryan last week that he said that he lives in Denver, so as soon as he did a meet in Texas, he said like he didn't know why he felt so good. He was like, you can tell the difference. So I don't know.
It probably varies person to person,
Yes and no, but also like I would trust somebody that actually lives at altitude when it comes to stuff like this. So if they tell me that it actually affects them, I would.
Well, someone who lives at that altitude would be used to it, so it wouldn't affect them.
But if you train at lower altitude, if you compete at lower altitude, you will probably feel better. Think about it. That's what he said.
Yeah, I don't know. I've never I'm trained at higher altitudes. I don't think enough to notice. And
I'm gonna be prepared for the meet. I'm gonna bring my oxygen cans.
I want to pull up PubMed right now to see if there's any studies on how altitudes affect performance in resistance exercise, but we'll save that for another podcast maybe.
Definitely worth looking into. I'm not even lying.
Honestly, it probably exists.
The altitude. What doesn't help out is the altitude training masks. They do nothing.
No, they definitely, because I know there's been studies on those, but I'm pretty sure that was on either endurance exercise, not lifting.
Yeah.
So
even then, how much you think an altitude mask is gonna is gonna
none. I still don't think it would do anything. I'm just saying I don't think the study exists for the.
No, it doesn't. No. It doesn't.
For the altitude mask and lifting, I think it's just But there very well could be different altitudes, measuring the performance aspects at different altitudes on various lifting exercises. I will check later. And
I'm actually gonna take a look at something right here.
You're gonna look it up?
Oh, so I'm from Kosovo, right? The mountains of Kosovo, Rugova.
Oh God, here we go.
No. Like anecdotally, my
fine band.
So no, but I've been there. Like,
My
I know.
ancestry, my genetic, my DNA.
No, that's not the point at all. So what I'm trying to say is I've been there, and it's tough to walk around. Legit.
Oh, I'm
like
sure.
fucking, you get
I'm
fucking
sure.
winded.
I'm sure.
And it's about the same altitude as it is over there. So like, not to make a big deal of it all, but just like from a
You're not
curiosity
like
standpoint.
we're not going to lift on a mountaintop.
That'd be pretty cool, though. I'm not gonna lie. It's a plateau.
Actually, have you guys ever seen that gym that's like it's like the highest altitude gym in the world? It's like on a mountaintop. I forget what mountain and exactly where this is. I want to say it's out west. I'm not quite sure though. Have you guys never heard of this?
No. Say it again.
It's like the highest altitude gym. Hold on, let me Google it real quick. I know we're like getting way off topic here, and I don't want to go too far, but like this is highest.
I'm gonna start training there next year.
Yeah, so Alma's Gym in Alma, Colorado is the highest gym in North America, located at an elevation of 10,361 feet above sea level.
That's a lot
so
of
like
feet.
this thing is like it's like way up atop some sort of structure, I believe, or
yeah, I've seen it.
like up on a mountain.
My question is, do they have power
Something like
bars?
that.
If they don't, I'm not training there.
It's combo racks. Do they have combo racks and
power
kilo
bars.
plates?
Have the high
Honestly,
power
not really
bars.
sure. It was like something I saw on Instagram, but that's where you would need to go train to prep for a high altitude meet.
Yeah, let me move to Denver real quick for powerlifting.
Sounds like I just figured out my fourth gym
Alma,
membership.
Colorado, not Denver.
Not Montana, like you said either.
Yeah, let me just move to Montana. All right. Anyways,
So yeah, nationals. So we're looking at like quite a few new faces and whatnot in the first couple of positions. One of the more spectacular lifts I'm hoping to see out over here is going to be in the 140 kg plus weight class. Frank Allen.
oh
Who's
yeah,
also doing-
he is a strong boy.
True. But he's also doing the Reach Rumble.
It's like the next day, right? Or the day
Yeah, it
before?
is. The Reach Rumble is on Saturday. He's competing on Sunday. So this man is doing 2 SBD sessions at RP10 back to back.
Oh, let's go.
This is going to be one of the more spectacular performances, I want to say, not just of the meet, but maybe, I guess, of the year, when it comes down to just seeing what he can do back to back. He's a bit of a freak. I don't know if people follow his training, but it's absolutely one of the more eccentric training styles I've ever seen as far as powerlifting is concerned. And still doing fantastic.
Yeah. Hopefully this time he can get a total, because last time I saw him compete
Deadlifts.
was the Rising Tide, and he bombed out on deadlifts.
Yeah.
He's got those chunky hands.
Yeah,
Chunky
he
hands.
was first all the way up to deadlifts. All he needed to pull was his opener to win the meet and get the money. He pulled his opener, got it 2-1. Then he decided to go up for some reason, and he failed his next to deadlifts, and he bombed out. So his attempt selection is not the smartest, I want to say, but he's an extremely strong dude. Like,
He's also self-coached, by the way. So everything he does is by himself.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's
He had no
I mean,
handler at the
going
time.
up on a missed opener though, that's a rookie
he had
move
no
right
handler
there.
At the Rising Tide, he was by himself.
Yeah.
He was just like doing it on his own, and I think it's gonna be the same thing for nationals. If I'm being honest, and also I think that's his first nationals as well. He had never signed up for nationals before.
Yeah. I
Who
mean,
knows?
I think it's personally I think it's helpful to have a handler or your coach with you.
100%.
I'm biased.
Oh, 100%. Like I see people saying, like, the fact that you don't need a handler. Yeah, no, you do. You do. Doesn't matter how good you are, how new to sport you are. Having a handler there helps out, because shit happens on meet day. Find
Plus
distracted.
a handler who actually knows what they're doing and that you can put full trust into them to, especially if you're looking for a podium spot, to make sure that they're doing all the, the correct calculations for the dot score and all that stuff, right? And like, just to be able to calculate all that stuff on the fly and look at all the other lifters to see what they're doing and yada yada yada, and like, make appropriate attempt selections. It's, and to be able to just take or just unburden yourself of all that stress and be able to like just chill and relax and be able to turn it on when you need to and then turn it down, right? But when you don't need it. And I think that's the most important thing for.
I think that's absolutely the case. And what people can do to figure out who a good handler for them is to see a person's history, who they've worked with. And not just to see the 9-for-9 attempts, because you could be looking at like sandbag attempts, or the case happens to be, but to see times when people had legitimately difficult fucking meet days and still managed to do something good. You know, that differentiates a good handler from just a person who happens to be there and has you sandbag your attempts. Because you see it happen all the time.
100%, yeah.
So I don't know, like it's important to have somebody over there. I've seen people have handlers out there who basically were out like taking photos and so on and so forth, actually miss their openers because they're so busy fucking like being distracted in the back.
Yeah.
You see it happening local meets. I've seen it happen national meets. You know, so anybody downplaying a handler so and so forth is either poor handler themselves or has not been handled by somebody who knows what they're doing. Is what I'd like to say. You know, there are people who can get by themselves and so on and so forth. I get it, like maybe the more introverted types. But I don't think there's anybody out there who can't do better by having a handler. Do your homework, get a good handler.
Yeah, even more introverted types, right? Like people who don't really want to talk and they want to just be in their own head and their own, maybe they just want to listen to music. Like if you're going to finish 10th place and it doesn't really matter and you're just looking to hit your lifts, perfectly fine, right? But if you are in the position where you do have to calculate dot scores and you do have to pay attention to what the other lifters are doing, to put that onto somebody else that you can trust is just a massive unburdening of stress, like I mentioned before.
Of course.
It's just just having to go lift, go put your attempt in, then go out and like analyze the entire board, or at least, pay attention to the lifters that if you're in the top 3, like you got to pay attention to the other 2 lifters, right? It's like, and to do all those calculations, you're on lifting cast, you're on lifter calc, and you're like making sure that you're putting the right attempts on for the right spot. You know what I mean? Like to do that and then be like, okay, I'm up again.
Yeah, I know. Like it allows you to focus. you can worry about executing instead of worrying about all the other
executing,
stuff.
And that's it. And like,
that's it.
I think like maybe there are different types of personalities that mesh well. Yes. Maybe if you like a hype type of like, I want someone to amp me up and give me back slaps and all that stuff, like maybe you find that person, and if you are that more introverted lifter who just wants to be left alone, listen to their music and like, hey, you're 3 out, right? Like get over here, let's go. You go out and do your thing, but then you could just go sit down. And coach does it, or the handler, whatever, does everything else. Like it's absolutely a crucial part.
I remember being there for Kyle and whatnot. And just essentially, I guess the whole name of the game was to amp him up when needed and to kind of calm him down. I guess like when he was in between attempts, kind of like energizing, finding that energy flow.
I think you're the type of coach that can do both.
Yes, it basically what it comes up for me. It's finding people and
I think there's some people out there that can't really. They're either chill or they're hype.
Yeah,
they're one or the other.
It's too much.
And that's fine. Yeah. But like, I think you're someone that can pull off. You could kind of chameleon yourself to meet the needs of the situation.
Yes, and that's what I'm trying to get at. Essentially, I guess a good handler is somebody who can meet the needs of the situation.
100%.
You see what's taking place there, match the person's energy, and help them out.
100%.
Different things take place. I mean, if you see a person panicking, whatnot, obviously you have to have certain things you can do to kind of calm down. Not to make this about handling,
hopefully,
but
no, yeah.
But I think somebody like Frank Allen would do very well to have a handler helping him out.
I almost forgot how we got to that.
So Frank, if you need a handler, please hit up Yuli to handle your nationals.
True. I'm gonna try to not fanboy after Frank Allen out over there, like this monstrous lifts and shit like that. Fucking that kind of shit impresses the fuck out of me.
Hey, maybe
1070 qualifying total, bro.
I know.
Maybe if you keep fanboy over here, maybe he'll let you handle him. You don't know.
Oh God, bro. Oh God. So speaking of juniors and how well they do in the sport, second best qualifying total belongs to Sean Cox. So I think Sean Cox is also the person who had the whole issue with the IPF over Article 14, the fundraiser and that kind of stuff. GoFundMe.
Gotcha.
That's him. Yes.
Okay.
So he'll be out there as well. He's a fucking monster, by the way.
Yeah.
So I'm excited to see, I guess, what he does as well.
978.5 total, 513.
The guy that you're talking about is from Germany.
I know, but he's competing in nationals. That's why he got Article 14, Mateo.
And he's registered in Nebraska? No, I'm telling Yuli, like...
Yes.
I thought it was like Koch. No? Coach? Cock? Coke? Is it Coke?
You're right,
yes, Mateo.
You're right. Okay.
I know, Mateo.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, shit.
I know. We can go on a little bit longer. It's okay. We can go. Good.
Okay, yeah. I just want to make sure. I'm sorry.
Yes. Yeah. No. He's out over here. He's on a scholarship in the U.S.
Okay, I see.
Yes. He's going to school here in the U.S. And so, like, while being in the school here in the U.S., he's also competing in the USAPL. Hence the issues that he's had with these douchebags in the IPF. He competed at collegiate nationals. Competed at Central Collegiate Regionals.
He pretty much holds all of these records too for almost each lift.
Yes. insane.
So
This guy is
world
phenomenally
records
strong.
for Raw Junior. He holds all the Nebraska state records for Raw Open. Obviously, he holds a bunch of American records for collegiate.
Yeah.
Got a very big bench press.
Yeah. 240.5 kg. That's it.
Yeah.
245. Most recently on ABS.
Yep.
Yeah. That's wild, bro. This kid he's next level. It's sad to see this political horseshit getting in the way of good fucking lifting and preventing people from doing what they need to be doing however they so choose to do so. If they're competing under the umbrella of your federation, that's good enough as it is. Why do you need to have them fucking monopolize? Why do you need to monopolize their attention? The performances. It's just such a stupid fucking stance. I don't know. I can't get over it.
No,
the fact that Keller and fucking what's his name, Paraj are such big advocates. This is fucking wild. By the way, I don't know if anybody knows this. Paraj has never competed. He's never competed he never competed. He hasn't lifted. Nothing of the nature.
That's interesting.
And he's the IPF president. He's essentially the face of tested powerlifting, and he's never competed. It's the most ridiculous fucking notion. I mean, it's like having a fire commissioner who's never been a fireman. It doesn't make sense, So I don't know, man. I don't know. Explains why maybe I guess we're in a position where we're at with fucking bench depth and stupid shit like that. Jesus Christ!
Yeah.
I saw a story posted
Yeah, I
the other
guess
day. I was fucking dying.
not being a lifter yourself leaves you with a ton of blind spots too.
Poor guy, he broke his arm trying to hit bench step.
Who did? Seriously?
No.
Oh, I'm like,
It was my story. Gaston broke his arm in Malta, and I made a joke about how he broke his
did he
arm trying to
really?
hit bench step.
He really broke his arm though?
Yeah.
Yeah.
How?
But it's what.
Trying to
Skiing
hit bench
probably.
step.
Who knows?
That's what I'm saying.
Benching, obviously.
Yeah.
Trying to hit.
But
yeah.
the craziest thing is him making all these decisions on rules and contemplating the whole ban of sumo and all that kind of shit to make it more marketable to the fucking to the normie population, general population. And meantime, you watch IPF Worlds, it's the driest fucking thing ever, the most boring fucking spectacle. That's the issue. It's not the fact that it's a squat, bench, deadlift, bench depth, or fucking sumo versus conventional. It's the fact that you don't know how to fucking put the shit properly. Watch Nationals. It's gonna be fucking. It's gonna be a sight to see. Sheffield, and the same shit taking place, right? Squat, bench, deadlift, sumo deadlifts were there, whatnot. Or like that IPF Wilson bench press. It is what it is.
I don't think any actual power lifters care about sumo or conventional. I don't know.
True.
I've always thought that was the stupidest argument ever. It's like,
True.
why are we even indulging in this thing?
I agree.
It shouldn't even be a discussion.
I agree. But if you look at the general population, who they look to for lifters and so on and so forth.
But the general population doesn't. I mean, I guess you'd want to cater to the general population to some extent to have them.
Mark, you're
potentially bring them into the sport.
Yes, but
right?
I'm not getting. There's a different point I'm getting at over here. General population doesn't care about that either. So you look at Jamal Brown or the following that he has. How does he pull? Sumo.
For sure. I definitely think there is some subset of the general population that does care, and it's mostly incel, like Reddit incels.
Yes.
But I'm just saying that those people exist still, right?
They do.
You still see them in comment sections on Jamal Browner's posts or big sumo deadlifts and be like, we're only moving it at half an inch. It's like those people still exist. And maybe we don't want to bring those people into powerlifting. Like, see you later.
I agree.
Definitely not.
Yeah.
I agree.
So I guess my point is moot anyways, and we can just move on.
Yeah. So I'm excited to see what happens over here with some phenomenal lifts. I think the sport is growing. It's getting closer and closer to mainstream. It's getting to that point. See, I guess just a rabid following that some of these people have out there and whatnot. It's an indication of that. It's great to see it happening. It's great to see, I guess, what you call it, up and coming lifters getting a chance to get the spotlight as well. Nationals is one of those meets that will allow for that to take place, and I can't wait to see what they do, and I can't wait to experience it myself.
Same.
Yeah.
So to people listening and whatnot, we didn't go over every weight class. Well, it's just a conversation between us. Just we're sitting down, we're bantering. We may have lighted over a few weight classes and so on and so forth. We'll leave it to others out there, I guess, to break down every single weight class if they want to. I think it's the information is readily accessible for anybody who's actually interested in this kind of stuff. Maybe in the future we reconsider, we decide to do every weight class and whatnot, but the way that we tend to do things on this podcast is just basically, I want to say, it's more of a conversational kind of topic. like a
This is Yuli's way of saying, if we didn't mention your weight class, we're sorry, and nothing personal.
Essentially, more or less. And just we're also trying to not pick up that responsibility. We're a bunch of dudes just sitting down together and talking. Don't take us too seriously. This is a podcast. This isn't fucking, the Holy Bible, fucking powerlifting or anything of that nature.
Another white boy with a podcast.
I don't know what else to say there.
I don't know where I was going with that, but that's a good way to end it, to be perfectly honest. No, I am super excited to head out. We leave on Wednesday. We're going to be out there for beautiful. We're going to be out there for the entire week. We're leaving Tuesday. We're there for the NGP meeting. I'm looking forward to it. I think we're going to have a good time. And
I think it's going to be a blast. I can't wait to land on Salt Lake City. I have Thursday to walk around and take in the sights and sounds and that kind of stuff. And
beautiful.
Be pretty cool. Maybe on Monday I get a chance.
What is it?
Oh, yeah, acclimate.
Yeah, you gotta walk around and acclimate to the altitude.
34,000 steps on Thursday just to do so, Fuck it.
If I could check out the salt flats, that'd be pretty fucking
just
cool.
Just increase your steps by 300%
at high altitude.
At high altitudes, make sure you undereat.
I'm starting to
consume calories.
I'm starting to see glimpses of my 9-paragraph post-meet write-up. Yeah,
James.
I'm not sure why. Hip fatigue was through the roof for some reason. My back was cooked.
You can't even tag James. User not found.
He's gonna block you.
He blocked me
again.
No more access to the spreadsheet. Blocked on Instagram. Done with this dude.
Oh man.
No, but I just hope he brings me crumble cookies. If you're listening, James, please. Those look delicious.
Specifically the churro crumble cookies. San Antonio style, please.
Yeah, please.
Oh man,
please and thank you.
So I guess that about wraps it up. Thank you everybody for tuning in today. Wish everybody who's competing at nationals the best of luck. Legitimately want to see you guys have the best performance out there. I can't wait to see your performances while being out there. Thank you for tuning in.
Except for Thursday when Yuli's going to be walking around at high altitudes. He will not be at the venue.
So with that, all the best, good luck, and peace out from the Squat Plug.
Yes.
Meow.